Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Now Stock Trades. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully, you guys can hear me. I'm not in the normal portable studio. I'm actually at my father-in-law's golf course. So yeah, no. Hope you enjoy the view here. There's a lot of people in the back. They're enjoying the view. They're having dinner. The golf simulators. They're active. They're like 80,000 a piece. I think 100,000 a piece. Just a few months ago, we had a former NBA player was here. Forgot his name. Turd, if you can help me, remind me who he was. He was also one of the NBA spokesmen folks. He's a nice guy, but I'm not a big sports guy. All I know is Kobe and Steve Nash. That's all I know. Okay, so yeah, nice view. Just to give you a little bit of the view here. Sun's coming down. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and we're going to be talking about a couple things, and there's going to be some things that you may not know. There's going to be a lot of things that you may not know about what's going on in the background of Clover. So without further ado, let's just kind of get into it. So if we go ahead and if there's any background music, I apologize. I am at a golf course and it is Friday night. So I got some tequila and lime. Going to be drinking some of that. It's a nice little martini glass, I think. It's coming right now. Thanks. Oh, you're the best. Appreciate you. Yep. Thank you. All right. Yeah. So cheers to all of you guys. Nice tequila and lime martini, right? Oh yeah, baby. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. It's not low calorie, 2 ingredients. It's very nice. Tequila and lime. All right, so let's go ahead and do some work. All right, before this alcohol kicks in. All right, so from this perspective, we're going to go ahead and talk about Kevin, his new promotion. We're talking about all these folks, but what I wanted to just actually, we're going to talk about all that. But I wanted to talk about something else, something that you guys probably haven't heard of. Particle health. That's right. Particle health. So what is particle health? We're going to talk about. But first, I just posted this. And if you guys haven't realized, there's an MD behind my name now, which is so cool. So I just I finally became a doctor. So yay. This is my celebratory drink. And what I'm doing, I'm working. All right, because I enjoy this stuff. I enjoy doing due diligence and finding alpha. That's the kind of the thing I like to do here. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of read this to you really quick. So particle health case matters, right? Because it goes beyond generalized complaints about closed systems that squarely challenges the idea that a dominant electric health record vendor can dictate who gains access to clinical data. So in short, you can go ahead and read this. You can read it. It's on Twitter, right? But Particle Health sued Epic for intraoperability lack of access data, and a federal judge allowing key antitrust claims to proceed is a significant because it opens the door to discovery where exclusionary intent and competitive harm are typically established. So this actually is pretty good here, right? So what does that tell you? It tells you that Particle Health kind of does the same thing. It wants interoperability. It wants to get in the data and pretty much extract that data. And the issue is Epic is sealing off that data from them. And they took them to court, and then Epic tried to get it dismissed, but Particle Health, the judge sided with Particle Health. Now, why is this important? Well, if you go to Particle Health, you go to the website, if they talk about transform medical records into actionable clinical insights. Now, if you go ahead, they got about 320 million patients' medical records piped from the largest healthcare networks distilled by Particle, and they have all this thing going on, and by gathering their external health data before their first visit with us, Particles, API is promising solution for us, and we look forward to building more innovative solutions together. So again, for me as a clinician, like I mean, I guess I'm not a clinician yet, a future clinician, right? For me as a future clinician, um, when I like look at this, I don't really see how this can help me. I don't like how can these people help me take care of my future patients. I don't really see that. I don't see any diseases. I don't see any outcomes data. Again, I'm trying to look at this like I want to be part of this. What? Okay, so what is like it? This value-based care. Okay, let's see. I don't really see average cost per hospital readmission. So it tells me kind of stuff that the issues that 15K is a lot per admission, and some patients just kind of consistently go. And okay, that's great, but what has it done? What is its solutions? So it doesn't give me it. So what is particle signal? Like, how does it work? Is there data? Can you give me data? Right. And I don't see data here. And if you guys, again, lifetime access members, you better be on this. You better be on this. Okay. I need you to look at this. Okay. But you're going to laugh. You're going to laugh. You're like, before people start saying, oh my God, we got some problems here. Well, let me show you something. So look at this guy, Gregory Hunt. He's a software engineer at Counterpart. Guess where he used to work at? He was a staff engineer at Particle Health. That's right. The same people that are suing Epic, Particle Health, the ones that I'm talking about now. He was a staff engineer full-time for 2 years and 7 months. And then Counterpart basically took him and peeled him from Particle Health. And this is kind of what he did, currently developing a comprehensive big data lake and analytics. Again, OpenAI is only as good as its people. And when the people are stripped, talent is stripped. And now talent is headed to Counterpart Health. You might say, Al, that's just one example. And I would say, you're right. Let me show you another. This gentleman here, his name is Paul Robbins. He is the director of product management at Counterpart Health. If you don't recall or haven't looked at this due diligence, you can see that Paul Robbins is currently the director of product management at Counterpart Health, bringing a focus on platform strategy. Within the healthcare technology sector, Paul has held key product leadership roles at Particle Health, which is we just talked about, the ones that have sued Epic, right? And they're essentially pushing forward. He served as the vice president of product prior to Quartet Health, and held the position of vice president of product management during Court. So you remember Quartet Health? There's a partnership with Clover Health and Quartet Health because of the mental illness, depression, et cetera, et cetera. But this guy used to be part of Particle Health. Here's his LinkedIn, and you can see he was the vice president of product. Let me give you an example. You know how big Kevin is? Kevin is pretty big. He's a pretty big guy, right? He built something incredible. He's the chief product officer. Imagine this. Kevin leaving Counterpart Health to go to Particle Health. What does that tell you? That's not good. Now, this is actually in reverse. This guy by the name of Paul Robbins. He essentially went from vice president of product from Particle Health to Counterpart Health as the director of product management. So what is his role? I lead product strategy and development for a portfolio of data-driven technologies that support clinical and operational decisions making across our platforms. Our work centers on improving access and usability of healthcare data. What I focus on: building infrastructure that integrates data across healthcare systems, EHRs, labs, ADT, pharmacy data, and more. Pharmacy data is huge, right? Partnering with engineers, data scientists, clinical stakeholders, right? Right. So these are really good, right? And you could see versus here, it's not that much. Versus here, it's very focused. Andrew Toy is creating something huge. And let me just kind of explain to you something, guys. Okay, if something as new and fresh of Counterpart Health, if it wasn't good, then why the hell are they peeling the talent away from Particle Health? And the sad part is Particle Health is doing all of the lawsuit work. They're doing all of the dirty work that Clover says, let them do the lawsuit. Let them do it. Right? So you could see Clover counterpart is playing chess while others are playing checkers, right? So, you know, so I would definitely look more into Particle Health and see what they do. But you could see now they're not stripping, but they're advocating to take the amazing talent from Particle Health and bring them into Counterpart Health, and that's pretty good. That's pretty huge, and it's something that to get the vice president of product over to from Particle Health to us Counterpart. That's a huge win for us. And didn't we get the vice president of Optum now leading also Counterpart Health? So you're starting to see we're getting a lot of leaders into Counterpart because people are starting to realize that this is the best software that they've seen in 20 years of their experience in the field. Now, for me, someone who is in healthcare, who is a medical doctor, I am a medical doctor now. I have some clinical experience. I saw with my own eyes how Counterpart works. I didn't see it in person. I saw it through FaceTime, and I was able to see kind of how it works. And I'm telling you, I'm very impressed. I want this software right now. I would love this software right now. I really want it. I wish I can have it now because it just makes my life easier. And I'm frankly upset that I don't have it, and I wish I had it because it'll save me like 10, 20 hours. I guarantee you it'll save me 20 hours a week. And that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time that this thing can save me. And that's the power of what they created. They created something so useful. All right. So anywho, enough with that. So you get the point, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at Kevin now. Let's go back to what you guys may have seen circulating on Reddit and Twitter, and let's kind of bring it all together, right? So Kevin said, I'm excited to share my promotion at Counterpart Health of Chief Product Officer, CPO, right? I'm proud of what we've accomplished over the past 7 years, right? And if you don't recall, 2025 subtracted from 7 is 2018. 2018 was a huge year. If you look at Particle Health, that's when Particle Health was founded, right? And everyone realized that there's a gold mine when it comes to healthcare. You have all this data that's just fax machined and doctors that are not technologists. There's a gold mine of information there, and everyone wanted it. But Counterpart looks like it's winning. Let's continue reading what he has to say. After 7 years, right? Growing CA from a new idea into a leading business in the value-based care space. Leading business, and it's true. You don't take talent like this if you're not leading. Starting with Clover Health, we've delivered industry-leading value-based care outcomes. Outcomes are huge. We already saw what happens when you look at the CMS changes in removing the 12 administrative burdens and focusing on clinical HEDIS quality measures, which Clover is ranked number 1 in, not for one consecutive year, but for 2 consecutive years. Okay. Now, it says, I'm grateful for the support and trust of our executive team. From the founder, Vivek Garipalli, to Clover CEO Andrew Toy and the Counterpart CEO Conrad. It's 2 companies in one. As we continue building a generational healthcare company, remember, a generational healthcare company. Again, guys, this is you analyze the words across Clover Health and Counterpart Health. Onward. Excellent. Now, let's go ahead and zoom out here and let's Blaine, Mr. L Daddy, the guy who took the company from 100 million to 500 million plus and is just a crazy, just amazing, like just beast. This guy's a beast. And you know what his title is? Unremitting Growth and Partnership at Counterpart Health. With that smile, he has a better smile than Donald Trump. Right? So look at unremitting here. Right? Never relaxing or slacking. Never relaxing. Unremitting. Right? That's L Daddy for you. Okay. Let me check the I got an email here. Let me just check. Okay, good. So what did he say? The single best product I've encountered in 20 years in this business. Well deserved. It is an honor bringing it to market with you. And he says, Kevin, let's go. So you're starting to see that there's a lot of momentum being created here. In fact, if we go to Twitter, and if we were to go here and look at media and see the this one here, what do you see? Hundreds of live third-party customer clinicians. Again, clinicians are doctors, right? And they're seeing about 15 to 3,000 patients a year, right? 1,500, let's say, let's make it low, representing an increase of greater than 450% of lives on CA. Live on CA in the last 3 months is 80%. Which means that if it's you do 80, I mean, this thing's growing more than 450%, which is why there's a greater than symbol here. There's a greater than symbol here because this thing is potentially growing in the thousands, actually, which is insane. And then let's go ahead. And I told you, as someone who's a medical doctor who has clinical experience, I have seen the software and I'm looking at the data. As a medical doctor, what I see is the same thing that what this person is saying. We've seen a lot of these software tools, and this is by far the best one. You can tell it was designed by doctors because it is easy to use. And what is the mission of Clover, right? To empower all lives, to create a software by doctors and for doctors. That's always been their mission. In fact, just please bear with me. Let me open up another. I would like to open up another post from Andrew Toy a while ago. This is shout out to Turd. I appreciate you, Turd. That's something that you posted. I will have to go in and actually search it. I found it. I love the search sometimes. The search is good. So now that we went ahead and talked about this, let's just take a quick tangent and let's look at this. So this was 4 years ago. Andrew Toy said this, right? 4 years ago. This was like a long time ago, right? Not now. So Andrew Toy said, I am frequently asked why Clover Health started as, a health plan as opposed to a software startup like Particle, right? That made Clover Assistant and sold it to health plans. Why didn't we just do that, right? My answer is this would be like trying to sell electric car batteries to the car industry in 2010. You see, like, it's funny. It's like, imagine trying to sell an electric battery in 2010 to Ford. What are they going to do to it? Like, imagine selling a battery to Ford. What are they going to do to a battery with Ford? They canceled their EV lines, right? So If Tesla had tried that, they'd have been told that there's no market for electric cars. And it's just easier to make money by improving miles per gallon or building hybrids. So essentially, what he's basically telling you is he had to create this market. And this is what, and I've been trying to basically tell you this, guys, and I've been really busy with medical school and life and just research and my academic productivity was crazy. I have about 30 papers that I need to publish, and so it's been tough. But let me just point this out to you, okay? Okay. Um, so they had to create Clover Health to show that it can be ranked the number one HEDIS quality PPO plan in the nation 2 consecutive years, and then showcase that how their data actually works. And now that they've shown that they're kicking ass and now they can control more than 10% market share in New Jersey and slowly creeping up market shares across other states. Now people are wondering, well, since CMS is headed towards HEDIS quality score measures for CMS star ratings, well, then we have no choice but to talk to Clover. Okay? So now let's go deeper and read more. This was 4 years ago, mind you, 4 years ago. The same is true in healthcare today. It appears that many healthcare executives and payers are not actually focused on data or software to help their business, just as it was easier for car executives to stay on gas. Many healthcare executives seem to find it easier to just keep focusing on narrowing their network, pushing risk onto physicians, and collecting revenue from either the federal government or employers. There are profits to be had there, after all, but it's only for a very short term. A local maxima type of thinking. What much healthcare incumbent thinking misses is that just as the finite supply of fossil fuel inevitably will lead to an electrified transportation, the unsustainable trends and insufficiencies in healthcare inevitably will lead to current solutions failing them. Now, let's see if he expands on that, and then I can kind of tell you something. We do not have enough doctors as it is. Narrowing networks and restricting physicians' supply makes no sense, like HMOs versus PPOs. You can't restrict patients into a closed group, guys. This is me saying it, right? You just can't do that. We already have a physician shortage. What Peter Thiel talked about was when he went into investment banking and hedge fund and Wall Street, everyone was trying to get in. Everyone. But as soon as he got in, he realized all of his colleagues are trying to get out. I worked so hard to get into medical school. It is so hard to get into medical school, a United States medical school, an allopathic school, right? It is so hard to do that, right? MD, right? And now that I'm inside of this clinical establishment, I look at these doctors and if I imagine I'm in a building, I see all these doctors heading towards the exit. They just want to leave. They're like, here, they're like, literally, they're like, here, here's the patient, here's this, bye, I'm retired, right? Like, it's like terrible right now, right? Obviously, not all of them are like this, but a lot of people now, and not the old school doctors, this is like new people. Like, these are like, I want to work for 10 years and retire. This is a bit, kind of a weird way of thinking, but be that as it may, a lot of people are headed towards the exit. And, so it's kind of the same thing here, right? So to further restrict this, just really, truly, as what Andrew Toy says, makes no sense. So current workflows are insufficient and error prone. I believe that only giving physicians true data-driven powers can help us as a society develop a more effective and efficient healthcare system. In the very short term, while other models of care remain lucrative and viable, I think the incumbents and even many of the new healthcare startups will most likely continue their approach and climb the local maxima. They may say they use technology, but I think they'll simply be relying on narrow networks and contracting to create economic arbitrage. I'm curious to see what Alignment does. Are they doing this? I believe that the physics of healthcare are with Clover and against these soon to be broken incumbent models. This was 4 years ago, and we've seen how broken they are when United Healthcare gets cut in half. And that's what gives us tremendous optimism. Just as ubiquitous electric vehicles were unthinkable just a few years ago, I believe we will be entering a new world in healthcare much sooner than we think. Dot, dot, dot. And then maybe we'll help a few others with their batteries. What kind of batteries? I'm trying to find an image here. These batteries here. These batteries. So, as Blaine said, this is the best product in 20 years that he's seen in the business. Then Vivek went ahead and says, huge congratulations, Kevin. Kevin, very well deserved. Vivek is the former CEO and founder of Clover Health. Co-founder, but founder, right? Very well deserved. This is a testament to your years of thoughtful, disciplined product leadership and long-term vision. Counterpart is very lucky to have you as CPO and your leadership. And the real fun and impact is only getting started. The real fun and impact is only getting started. Vivek, thank you. Can't wait for the real fun coming. Listen, guys, either you see it or you don't. And at the end of the day, um, there's going to be people that are going to be like, oh no, I wish I held. I've seen them with AMD, Tesla. I've seen this play out over and over again. There's a reason why I have a lot of videos about this company. I want this to be a case study. So if you're watching this 5, 10 years from now, study this. In the next iteration, all the robots that you see that are coming into play, they're going to be building the fifth industrial revolution. So study those folks that design those robots and see if they have ownership in those companies, and see and study them and use the same things in brain that we use to find this company. Because most likely, if you're watching this 10 years from now, it'll be too late. It'll be too late. The most fertile ground for investments, according to Dr. Michael Burry, The Big Short, is anywhere between the $2 to $12 billion range. And Clover falls in that range. It's under 2 right now, but it used to be around 2. It falls in that range. So there's this. So let's see. Now let's go ahead and let's talk about what Vivek said here. But first, let's take a little break. Let me look at the comment sections here. Sorry, I haven't looked at it in a while. Sorry, I'm on the portable monitor screen here, so it's hard to see. Oh wow, yeah. Woohoo! Al's on fire twice in one day. Yeah. I'm just trying to like put all the thoughts I had in. Right, Michael Jordan. No, it wasn't Michael Jordan. It was somebody else. That'll be funny though. I know Michael Jordan. Something. I don't know if that was his name. I mentioned it in Lifetime Access in the comment section. Dang, Al, now I have to break out the bottle. Break it out, baby. Let's go. right? Espresso martinis are my favorite, especially if you put jalapenos in them. Um, I appreciate you, Drew. I love you a lot. Appreciate you guys. Hello, hello. Salute. Let's Hmm. Hmm. All right. So let me go ahead and do something here. Okay. Good. Vivek went ahead and posted this right after him talking about all this fun. He posted this post. So I'm going to read it to you. Okay. So I'm going to do this really fast. Historically, the large tech exits most created new categories. So for software, you got Microsoft, search, Google, social, Facebook. Mobile goes to Apple, right? The iPhone, right? iPhone moment, right? And many others. Huge outcomes, but largely additive to the existing economy. It adds to what we do, right? In terms of like instead of using a typewriter, now we have this, right? We have Word, Microsoft Word, right? Instead of using a phone book, we have this, right? Again, so it's great, but additive. iPhone, yeah, we got BlackBerry, but this is a little better, but it's additive. It's not transformational. Along the way, tech started to dip into toes eating slices of industries. So for retail, Amazon destroyed it. For cable bundle, Netflix dismantled it, and now you got Warner Brothers trying to, right? And AMC people, God bless you guys, right? Right. The outcome size expanded because tech directly captured more of the existing economy's value chain. Now we're in the third phase. This is the third derivative. Technology eats entire industries, right? Not just slices, entire industries, and remakes them along the way and reimagine them. Like, for example, um, so when a company replaces and remakes an industry rather than coexisting with it, an adjustable market is an industry entire. So it's the entire profits, right? Versus having to service it. So telecom, right? T-Mobile, T-Mobile, Verizon, they, with SpaceX, or really honestly Starlink, they are on the verge of getting destroyed if they don't adapt. This could be very bad for them. Okay, because all that SpaceX and Starlink need to do is have the satellite connect to a transistor that sends the waves when you make a phone call, and it just turns into, rather than having a pure satellite connection, these will become powered to where you get connected to the nearest cell tower, which will then connect to the satellites. And then that one word connection will just transform the information across. So that's very disruptive. And they're probably working on that now. It's, again, physics. I like learn this stuff in my, before I go to sleep. So anyway, defense primes losing relevance to software. So you got Anduril's killing it, right? Energy, healthcare, logistics, construction, education will all be similarly eaten. The financial outcomes from this will be unlike anyone has ever seen before, and unlike anything most have imagined before, right? So watch this. This explains why the companies targeting these outcomes are hardest to raise funding for. Long periods with little or no revenue, years of losses and technical failures, regulatory friction, manufacturing or operational complexities, public failures. They look wrong for a very long time, which is exactly why they can absorb an entire industry when they work. And because they look wrong for a very long time, their strategy scares away competition looking to copycat. So what does that ultimately mean? Well, everyone's looking at Clover. It's like, well, shit, man, they lost a lot of money. It's hard to basically make this. I mean, think about it, right? Berkshire Hathaway of Warren Buffett, Chase of Jamie Dimon, and Amazon of Jeff Bezos. They tried to copy Clover, or try to make one, and Clover, they failed. They failed. They absolutely failed. But right now you're seeing with its outcomes, Clover succeeding. So this is something that is for me, a long-term hold. Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of folks out there that are, retired and they're overall retired and it takes a while and they're just like, man, this sucks. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this is I don't know what you were doing when Amazon and um, AMD, Nvidia, United Healthcare back in the day, Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, Facebook, Netflix. Um, you all have seen how long it takes. It takes 10 years to do that. So, I mean, if you can't handle 5 years, then it makes sense why you didn't get in on Apple or Facebook or Netflix when it was 60, 70 cents. It makes sense you're upset because you've never succeeded in the past investing in these unicorn companies that have transformed the world. You've you've never done it. So of course you get angry, right? Because if you have done it before, then right? Or or if you try to do it and you failed, we have somebody who tried and they sold too early, and they learned their lesson. So there's people out there that just can't. And I'm sure, and then some people sold. It's take that lesson and pass it on to your children so they don't make the same mistake in the future. I think, for me, I haven't sold one share. I haven't sold one share. I haven't sold one damn share. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not in the game of making pennies. I'm not. I don't. You give me an extra $50,000 every week, it's not going to change my life, right? You can give me $1 million now, 50 million, 100 million. Then we can start talking. An extra $1 million ain't going to change my life, right? I mean, look where I am right now. I'm in a freaking nice golf course. Every snap of a finger, I get anything I want, right? There's no difference between me and Chamath. The only thing is he has probably travels on a private jet. That's fine, right? I'm okay with that. That's the only difference, right? In terms of wines, yeah, he might drink $10,000 wines, and his clothes are maybe $4,000 a piece. But those are the only difference, right? I mean, I can get that now if I want. I just don't value those things, right? So if you're watching this and it's already too late, learn. This is not a loss. Learn. If this is like 2035 and you're watching this right now, and if it's all, first off, look where I am now, study my life, see where I'm at, knock on wood, I'll still be here, right? Study my life and study the company and see what I was able to, how was I able to break the noise and extract pure signal. There's a lot of noise out there, a lot of noise. Everyone complaining, saying, "Oh, that they're not, I've been holding for 5 years. Oh, this is a scam. Oh." Those people are all noise, right? Those people have all taken the blue pill, right? They don't see the big picture. They don't see that. You're going to be surrounded by that. There's always a problem in the market. There's always someone's always scared of. Right? The 50s, people were scared of the Great Depression, right? The 90s, in the early 90s, they were scared of the 89 drop. Then after 2000, they were scared of the dot-com bubble crash. And after 2008, they were scared of the great financial crisis for a very long time, right? People are always scared in the market, and you have to look at the fundamentals. You cannot look at what people think. People think through their emotional landscape. When they start thinking through their amygdala, you're not talking to them anymore. You're talking to their whole childhood life experience. You're talking to how they were programmed. And if they're smart enough to understand that and change the way they think, then you might be actually speaking to them, but you're speaking to the integration summation of all of the people that they grew up with, the good and the bad. You have to be able to learn how to think for yourself. And that's how I was able to find this company and track the MCR, religiously track it, not confuse it with BER. There's idiots out there that thinking that BER is MCR. People don't know what they're doing, right? There's a lot. Listen, everyone has an opinion, just like everyone has an asshole. Okay. When you look at people's opinion, it's just another asshole. That's all it is. Okay. So you have to ignore all the assholes out there and you have to focus on the pure signal. How the hell do you think I went from homelessness to becoming a multimillionaire? How the hell you think I was able to create this life that I have for myself? How the hell did I do this? How the hell did I do the impossible? Extract the noise and focus on the pure signal. And you have to surround yourself with like-minded people. And if you don't have like-minded people around you, then you read. You find books of other billionaires and millionaires and you read from them. You learn from them. You extract knowledge from them and you develop your mental models. That's how you win. That's how I won. Any case, we'll see how this goes. And this is going to be pretty fun, guys. It's going to be very fun. So cheers to all of you. Now we're back in 2025. I was speaking to the future there because people will be watching this video. This is a beautiful documentary. All these videos will be documentaries. All right, guys. See you all, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.